A very warm welcome to you, ladies and gents, from the Q8 Pilot Channel. It is 1700 Zulu, 2000 hours at local time here in Kuwait City, Kuwait. Want to welcome with us today, we have Rand Cooley, my dear friend. Stan, welcome aboard. Flyby, Boeing Corp. Mike, Ayad Martez, welcome aboard. Chief Queef, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. And ladies and gents, our dear friend Dougal Maktebish, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Been flying a lot on VATSIM. Yeah, pretty cool. I should join you one day, Dougal, on VATSIM. Okay, so today, ladies and gents, we are at Dallas-Fort Worth in the United States, and the weather is a little bit, on the bad side this afternoon. And we are heading to Memphis this evening aboard my favorite aircraft in real life, the Boeing 777-300ER in this American Airlines livery. So let's take a quick look here at our flight plan. Today we are leaving Dallas-Fort Worth, runway 17 right through the 43 departure. 37,000 feet is our final cruise altitude, and we are heading to Memphis. About an hour flight, a little less than an hour. And we are arriving runway 18 left through the Hobart 4 arrival. So the scenery, of course, is all default MSFS, and for everything related exclamation route, exclamation aircraft, exclamation scenery will get you the information on our stream today, and of course exclamation specs will give you the link to my specs on the Q8 Pilot website. So let's go ahead and hop into the cockpit and get things started. It looks like it's going to be a busy day here. A lot of aircraft are heading over to the departure runway. So let's hop into the cockpit. All right, we're going to go straight to the electronic flight bag, and we are going to go here and select the data request from SimBrief. I actually almost canceled the stream today. I had a really bad migraine headache, but hopefully it kind of subsided. So I felt like, yeah, I can do it. So here we go. We have the data request from SimBrief. This is our flight, and we can now start bringing electrical power to the aircraft. We are first going to make sure that we have all the equipment aboard the aircraft. So emergency equipment are there. Everything is in order. And we are going to make sure that both the fuel control switches are in the off position. The thrust lever is in idle detent. The flaps are retracted. Landing gear is down. And we're going to head over here, and we're going to actually make sure that both wipers are off. And next we're going to go and turn on the battery switch. We're going to turn on the cabin utility and IFE passenger seats on. And we are going to turn on the primary external power, secondary external power. And now we have electrical power connected to the aircraft. We're going to head over here, turn on the ADIRs, set the emergency lights on, window heat can go on, and we're going to turn on the hydraulics. There we go. We're going to put the non-smoking seatbelt sign on auto, and let's go ahead and do the APU fire test here and the cargo fire test, which checks okay. We're going to turn on the left forward fuel pump, and everything else here is okay. Perfect. All right, all the other switches are in the off position, and now we can come here and test the oxygen. Oxygen test okay, and we are going to come over here to the first officer side, and finally we're going to come to this side here, and all the oxygen masks check okay. Perfect. Now we're just going to wait for the self-test to start. Looks like it's stormy in Dallas. Maybe Stan can actually tell us if indeed the weather in Dallas is that bad or not. No worries at all, Rand. Hello there, Mr. Valero. Welcome aboard. Hello, Mr. Mohan. Glad to have you here with us from Sacramento, California. Yeah. very close to Fresno. So that's pretty cool. All right, so systems are coming up. We have the FMC, so let's go ahead and get things started. We're going to head over here and let's do this. There we go, FMC. And we are going to clear that. We're going to go to the position in it. We are at Kilo Delta Foxtrot Whiskey. That's Dallas Fort Worth. We're going to select the current GPS position. And next we're going to go to the route. Okay, we're going to go ahead and request everything from SimBrief. So this is our flight route today. So Dallas Fort Worth to Memphis. Set payload, set the fuel, excellent. And then we're going to go to select route. And now it's requesting the route from SimBrief. And we're going to wait for that to complete. We are today American Airlines 1119. And there we go. Now we have the route. So we're going to select load. And then we're just going to give it a second here. Okay, descent forecast is ready. Okay, that's fine. Wind data uplink ready. Perf and all right, everything is ready here. All right, so activate, execute. Perfect. Next, we're going to go to the departure. We're going to bring up our SimBrief or Navigraph charts. We're just going to put it here on the side. We are departing 17 right through the fork 3, and that's the one. And execute that. Next, we're going to go to the index page. Again, select our arrival, which is through the Hobart 4. And it's going to be the ELD transition. And then it's the ILS 18 left. So that's the one. No transition there. Execute that. Let's go to the legs page. Make sure we have no... There is the vectors to final. So I'm just going to go ahead and select that. And that will give us a nice turn into runway 18 left. Perfect. Next, we're going to go to the perf int. And again, we have all the data here. So we're going to go ahead and say accept. And now we can click here for the 0 fuel weight, and that will update everything automatically for us. Next, thrust limit, we leave that alone. We're going to go to the flaps here. So we're going to select flaps 5. Center of gravity 29%. That gives us a trim of 4 units. And then our speeds V2 is 162. All right, let's set that to 162. All right, 162 is set. And we are going to set this to 170, which is the runway heading today for the departure. 177, that's fine. And then we're going to go ahead and turn on the APU. So let's get over here and start the APU. All the other switches are on, so we're good here. Perfect. Okay, so we are using FSLTL today for this flight. Let's go ahead and turn on the VOR. There we go. Excellent. And while the APU is starting, we can come here and go and enter our fixes, again, for situational awareness. So we are arriving into Memphis, actually, no, that's the Airbus. So we put actually runway RW18 left in the fix. And then we're going to put the, we can just put actually the distance to the station, but we actually will give it we'll give it the radial. So 18 left here is 180 degrees exactly. Okay, so 180 and 10. We add that there, and then 180 and 20. We add that there, and now if we go to the plan page. So we'll switch this to plan, and now we'll cycle through. So step, step, and we should see our, there we go. That's the first ring, and that's the second. That's the 20 nautical mile ring, and that's the 10 nautical mile ring. This is our turn. to intercept the localizer. So we're good there. Hello, Jesse. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us here and Mr. Doug, welcome aboard. Glad to have you guys with us this evening. I know most of you guys prefer X-Plane, but, you know, we got to strike some sort of a balance, guys. And I did post a community on the community tab today to ask you guys what you'd like to see more of, streams, videos, and the frequency. So hopefully, all right, let's turn on the flight directors. We're going to set the, let's do that. Let's come here, and we're going to set this to 37,000 feet. We'll talk a little bit about the channel and some of the things that I've been thinking about lately. Yeah, I'd like to share with you guys. All right, so let's see here. So we can see now that the APU has kicked in, and we're going to turn on the fuel pumps. We can turn off the external power now. We're going to switch this back to map, and we're going to put the terrain on the captain's side, and we'll put the weather on the first officer side. And now we can come here to ground. So let's go back here. We're going to go to ground operations, and we're going to select remove chocks. And that will also remove the external power. We're going to go to door management, and we're going to say arm all doors. Okay, now we are ready to go, and we can now start the push out of our position. Brilliant. Quick startup today. So let's go ahead. We want to push nose to the right, tail to the left. So let's go ahead and do that. GSX.
Parking brakes to request ground services.
Parking brake set.
This parking is too small for your
Yep, it is too small. All right, we'll select American Airlines, and then we'll wait for the push drive. All right. Ooh, look at that, guys. The weather radar is actually working. Oh, looks pretty cool. Yeah. Perfect. All right, auto brake, rejected takeoff. We're going to turn on the beacon light on.
Captain, we are ready for pushback.
And we need to check a couple of things before we go. So first, we want to go to, we do have 4 units here. And then we're going to go to the checklist. Oxygen is tested. Flight instruments are checked. Flight deck door, MCP, takeoff speed, CDU pre-flight trim. Taxi briefing is complete.
Departure checks completed. Bypass.
All right, and that is next. Okay. Perfect. So everything is set for our flight. I really love the 777, both in MSFS and in X-Plane. Though I have to say that I thoroughly enjoy the flight factor 777-300ER. It's just really a brilliant aircraft. All right, locking gear. Hello, Stefanos. Welcome aboard. Hello, Anthony. Welcome, guys. Glad to have you here. All right. It says window heat right side. There we go. Right, aircraft is lifting. Looks like we have some bad weather today. All right, so nose to the right, tail to the left, and hopefully it gets it right this time. We need the toe brakes. There we go.
Commencing push. All engines clear.
And there's our clearance to start the engines. All right, we'll go ahead with the right engine first. And the engine is now spooling. Look at just how beautiful the 777 is. Just lovely. A majestic looking aircraft, really. Very, very nice. Ooh, thunderstorms. Huh. All right, we can start the right engine. There we go. I like the this livery here. It looks a bit weathered, doesn't it? What's up with the weather radar, though? There we go. That's better. At least it's just the initial climb out of Dallas-Fort Worth is going to be a little bit bumpy, but I think it should be fine a little later as we approach Memphis.
Please set parking brake.
All right, and the parking brake
Waiting
is
your
set.
confirmation for a good engine start.
We'll go ahead and tell GSX to disconnect. So
Cockpit to
confirm,
ground. We have a good engine start.
and let's start
You can
engine,
disconnect.
the left
Unloading
engine.
gear.
Look at those wings, guys. Wow. Those engines on the 777 are just absolutely huge. Yeah, I love looking at those engines in real life. All right, so let's very quickly set our flaps to flaps 5. There we go. Not sure what I'm doing there.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Oh, yeah.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Very nice indeed. Look at the details, guys, on the flaps there. Very, very nice texturing there by PMDG. Very, very nice. All right, I think I've messed things up, so let me... there we go. All right, so let me turn the flight directors back on again. All right, and we'll just wait for the signal here. And we're going to turn on the taxi lights. All right, there's the wave off from the ground crew. And we are good to go. Taxi lights are on. And let's see. Before taxi checklist. NTIs. Ooh. Mohan has just came in with $50 in Super Chat. Oh, thank you so much. Hello, Carl. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Wow, thank you so much, Mohan, for $50 Super Chat. That's very generous of you, sir. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Very kind of you, very generous of you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Not sure why we're not getting it on the chat window, but thank you so much. Really appreciate that. All right, recall. So recall checked. Auto brake set, rejected takeoff, flight controls. Let's check them real quick. Full up, full down, full left, full right. All good. Ground equipment is clear. And next is the before takeoff checklist. Flaps are 5, and we are good to go. All right. All is set. Hello there, Antonio. I bought the PMDG 777 freighter because it was on sale. I'm actually enjoying it. I have the FF, which is my favorite airliner. We can see it in chat. Oh, you can. No, I meant not, I didn't mean on chat. I meant on the actual stream. So on the actual stream screen. I don't think that I've seen it there, but yeah, I think I need to do a few things. I think I need to do a few changes to the to my Streamlabs OBS. All right. It's supposed to come, yeah, like a message, like a celebration of some sort. Yeah. All right, guys. Here we go. Parking brake is released. And everything is set. We're good to go. And let's go. Give it a little power here. We didn't start the engine, did we? All right, we'll taxi with one engine until the second one comes on. The sounds are really, really nice on the 777. Very nice. All right, let's take that path over there. And look at that, guys. Wow. So beautiful. The 777 is just an aircraft that I adore. And PMDG has really done, by the way, a very, very good job on this aircraft. All right, we have a good start there. We're going to come here and turn off the APU. APU gen can go off. And there is the taxi. Okay. A little bit of rain I can see on the windshield, but I can see some major thunderstorms there in the distance. Just beautiful looking aircraft. Look at this, guys. Wow. Looks so good, doesn't it? And the sounds, the ambient sounds, both in the cabin and in the cockpit in the PMDG are quite nice as well. I mean, this looks very realistic. With the grass there, the wings. Wow. Looks really nice. All right, let's not get carried away with the views there. And let's focus on the taxi. All right, we're going to turn on the... Why is this 265? That cannot be. It's 162, I believe. So we're going to set this to 162, which is V2. And LNAV, VNAV are both on. We're going to put the traffic here. We can see the traffic there on the display. So lots of traffic around the area, and thank God that there isn't any lineup of aircraft here on 17 right, so we can immediately take off. And I hope I can remember to reset the traffic once we arrive into Memphis. All right, here we go. This is the runway. Things are looking good. Slow it down a little bit. And here's the turn for 17 right. The weather looks really nice. I think this is the nicest instance in MSFS that I've had so far with weather, where it looked, you know, very convincing. All right, here's 17 right, and we are going to turn on the landing lights, runway turn off lights, taxi lights off, cabin is ready. We're going to come here and set the, let me see here. We're going to set the, is it already on TARA? It looks like it is on TARA, but we're going to change this to 2234, and we are good to go. All right. Let's give it a little power here. Doors to automatic. And we want our strobe lights. Strobe lights on. We're going to start the clock. There we go. Here's the turn. Wow, look at those textures there. All right. Listen to the sounds. And toga. Wow. The engine sounds are exceptional on the PMDG.
V1.
And rotate. We have about 11 knot crosswind. Positive rate. Gear up. Wow, what a beautiful departure. Look at that wing flex, guys. Wow. That is insanely realistic and extremely immersive. Very, very nice. All right, we're getting there. All right, let's retract the flaps. That's the flaps warning. There we go. And we're gonna go autopilot 1. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you get distracted with those beautiful visuals. Right, everything else is good here. We continue the climb. Look at those engines. Right, looking good here. 250 knots, below 10,000. We're going to continue to climb. And let's see here. Maybe we need the engine anti-ice. Actually, we can turn this on. Doesn't matter, really. Yeah, maybe we need the anti-ice. Well, this is all going to be an area of bad weather. So, hopefully at above 10,000 feet we'll be fine. 900,000. Turn off the landing lights. Runway turn off lights are off. And everything here on auto. There's 10,000 feet. Hello, Fly Lilo. How are you doing? Very underwhelming sounds compared to the Boris sound set, for sure. Do you have the beta update 4 installed? No, not yet. Yeah, if you don't have Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 yet, Rand, I think you will really enjoy it because it is really an incredibly immersive sim. Dougal, since you already have Sim Update 4, can you confirm that the scenery actually loads better? Because now, or not better, but they actually stream actual data, because right now, most of the world does not really stream real, it doesn't really look photoreal. So is that issue solved in SU4? Ooh, guys, look at the weather. Pretty gloomy weather today, isn't it? Yeah, pretty bad weather. With a new build, I'll try it. Yeah, I think you'll really enjoy it, Rand. Alright, let me bring up the displays here a little bit. There we go. Excellent. I think we are getting out of the clouds now. There we go. They look like shaving foam, but yeah, I don't think that there is anything today that looks better than the clouds in X-Plane. After Beta 6, ooh, it is hot. Wow, look at the weather, guys. We've got some red spots there. They're not in our flight path, but the weather is really dreadful. Most report huge performance increases too. Ooh, cool. I don't yet have SU4 installed, Sam, but I understand there are many excellent fixes. That's great to hear, Dougal. Clouds can actually look like that sometimes. Yeah, they might. No, I mean, now it looks good. So this area here looks good. But, yeah, they do sometimes look like shaving foam, for sure. All right. 18,000, standard barrow. And it's already set there. Okay, perfect. All right. We continue our climb. Wow, look at that. Again, those cirrus clouds, they don't look right. And hopefully that's something that that they can fix maybe in upcoming versions. Look at the reflections, guys, on the wing. This is really, really cool. Very, very nice. The texturing and the detail, level of detail when it comes to PMDG. It's, of course, they're very well known. I mean, since the days of FSX, they've been creating very high fidelity aircraft. I really miss their MD-11 though. I really miss that aircraft by PMDG. Very, very immersive aircraft. There's another view there of those beautiful engines. The MD-11 that no, I don't think so. Not PMDG, no, I don't think so. I could be mistaken, but I really don't know, but I don't think so. So some of the things I want to be, you know, I just been planning to, you know, share with you guys and let you know kind of what's going on. You probably noticed that I have not really been creating videos for quite some time now. Occasionally I might, I think the last video I've done was the how to double your FPS with smooth motion in X-Plane. And after that, there were no videos. And it's not because of the lack of ideas. There are a lot of things that I can make videos on. But quite frankly, the other channel that I have has been really taking a little bit of my time. So I am creating, obviously I do not live stream on the other channel. It's a tutorial based channel, so there's no live streaming there. And so that leaves me with very little room or very little time to juggle everything else with the, you know, Q8 pilot channel and work, which is really something that takes a lot of my energy. So I have been thinking about maybe if I go to creating, you know, videos that are between 5 to 10 minute long, which will take like 2 to 3 hours to make. And I can do this on weekly basis. And they'll be on either like a quick review or a 5 minutes of aviation where I explain certain concepts. Or that I continue to do the streams twice a week and do the occasional videos. I really abandoned the video format when I started live streaming because it's simply easier. It doesn't really require any editing, anything like that. So the stuff above and ahead, that's supposed to be a stratus layer. The cumulus clouds are okay. Yeah, cumulus is okay for sure. So yeah, I've been giving a lot of thought to what I've been doing on the channel, and it's primarily been live streams. And I do appreciate the fact that folks appreciate my insights, and that they, you know, they trust, you know, my take on, you know, on payware, freeware. You know, when I tell them something is good, they trust in it. And I'm very humbled and very appreciative towards that. But the fact of the matter is, after 11 years, guys, you know, nothing stays the same. And some of my passion for creating content for Flight Sim has diluted. And that is a fact. Now, I know I've said this before on the channel, but I felt that it was very important that I address this because I know that, you know, there's a lot of things that are happening in the flight sim world, and I haven't really been covering everything. And it's been, you know, I think, you know, X-Plane has gone to like beta 6. I haven't really covered anything with the exception of the very first release of 12.3. It was a first look and it was a live stream again, wasn't a video. So, so definitely, you know, things have changed. My interest has changed. Not in aviation. I'm very passionate about aviation and about flight simming. Just creating content for it hasn't really been something that motivates me. The reason being, what is a good tiller to buy for the flight factory Boeing 777? Yeah. There you have it. You have the answer there. Thanks, Carl. So, so yeah, I haven't been really feeling, you know, like doing videos, and the main reason is doing a video, creating a video, takes so much time and so much effort because you have to, you know, record the voiceover, then you have to develop the video, then you have to sync so the editing part takes a lot of time. Although I am quite proficient now with the suite that I use, which is Adobe, but it still takes so much time and effort. And then when you actually look, when you post the video, you know, the first question in the comments would be something that you've answered in the first 5 minutes of the video. It's like, you know, I don't think that people watch those videos and they skip through them. Maybe my style is not something that would intrigue people to stay. Maybe it's my voice. I don't know. But yeah, definitely the videos don't have that much viewership in terms of the length of time. Some videos get really a lot of views, but when I see the time that people actually spend, the average time, it's like really, really low. So doing a stream is a kind of strikes a balance between, you know, being able to be with you guys, to interact with you, give you my thoughts, give you my insights, my opinions, show you how things work, you know, do like live tutorials, if you will, without really having to do all the edits and, you know, all that hard work that really is, I think most of it is really not being really utilized. So that's that. It looks like, based on the poll, that you guys still want me to do twice, 2 streams a week and occasional videos. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm good with live stream. Perfect. So we are now at 37,000 feet, our cruise altitude. And here is a shot at the outside. Look at that. Very, very nice. And the American airline livery is one that I actually like. And I think in real life, when you see a 777-300ER on the American airline livery come to land, it's just really a beautiful sight. Yeah, that's very nice. All right, let's go to... let me go here. Yeah, that's a nicer view. Very nice wind flex. All right, let's take a quick look at our flight here. Let's see, flights. Let me remove the map. Okay, where are we? I think the Sim Connect isn't there. All right, we'll just leave it. That's fine. Okay, so if we look here, we're gonna go to the FMC. We're gonna go to VNAV. So TD is in 170 nautical miles, and we can come down here, and we're gonna select flaps 30 and 146. Flaps 30 and 146, and we'll stick that there, and we're all set. Perfect. Hello there, Billy. I love your live streams and hate I just found your channel, but I say to what makes you happy and keeps you doing what you do. Well, thank you very much, Billy. Really appreciate it, my friend. And I will definitely continue to do the live streams. I mean, in the end, I want to do what you guys want. You know, if you guys prefer live streams it is. I just like to bring a little bit more variety. Maybe we'll do like, you know, fire and you know, maybe rescue missions and things like that. You know, spice things up a little bit. And I'll definitely do the occasional videos. I do have the Archer 3 from Just Flight. I just received it from the guys over at Just Flight, and I will be definitely doing a stream on the Archer 3, the Piper Archer 3, and our next stream. And we have Swerve. Welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel. The other thing that I've been really working on lately is AI. And I know people, when I posted one Navigraph promo that was AI made, you know, people just went berserk on me, and they didn't quite like it. But I do have that interest, and particularly my particular interest is in the ability to build apps with AI. The Q8 Pilot website, www.q8pilot.com, was built completely using AI. Not a single line of code written by myself. So it was all created using AI. And I was amazed at how fast you can build a site. You can plan it, design it, structure it, you know, build it, deploy it. Just really amazing. And of course, I have a lot of interest as well in the cinematography and filmmaking, which is kind of a new interest of mine that I've been exploring. And so, yeah, I've been, you know, creating some videos for the other channel. I did a complete rebranding of it as well recently. When you're a small channel, you know, you can afford to do that. And interestingly enough, you know, I did some variations of the Q8 Pilot logo using AI, of course. And one of them was really, really good. And then I actually gave my current logo and the new logo that I've created, which, by the way, has a lot of the... in spirit, it looks like the existing logo, but a little bit more modern, maybe. So I gave it to the AI, and I said, I want you to analyze the history of the Q8 Pilot channel and those two logos, the existing one and the new one, and I want you to tell me whether it's a good idea to change the logo and do a complete rebrand. And here is the response that came back. The new logo is excellent, it's punchy, it's memorable, it's very passionate. However, if you want to do a complete strategy change of the channel, so you want to do content in a different way and you want to bring about, you know, different subjects, different topics, if you really want to change the strategy of the channel, then it might be a good idea to, you know, introduce this new logo and do a complete rebrand of the channel. Otherwise, it is not advisable, because this logo, the existing logo, is what people know you by, and there's a lot of brand equity in your existing logo. So that's that. So I said, okay, well, I'm not changing anything for the time being, so everything stays the same. Greetings from rainy Vancouver, Canada. I hope all is well at your neck of the woods. Life definitely gets in the way of our hobbies, especially for those of us with multiple kids. Absolutely. Yeah. And you know, the thing is about kids is, you know, you think at some point, you tell yourself, I'll just wait, you know, when they're done, you know, with elementary, they go to middle school, then they'll depend on themselves. and then it'll be all fine. And then they go to middle school and say, no, I think it'll be high school. And then high school, oh, after college. And after college, you say, oh, it's when they get married. And when they get married, you still worry about them. That's the thing. And it's just, it's a never-ending thing when you have children. It's, you know, they've got your unconditional love and commitment for as long as you live. And that puts in a lot of strain, for sure. So, yeah. This is a really nice sight there of the clouds. Looks really good. My eldest is 42 and it never ends. Yeah, Dougal, it never ends, my friend. And they'll keep you know, I think your eldest is the same age as my youngest sister. So we're four altogether, brothers and sisters. I have two sisters and one brother, and I have a sister who's older than me, a couple of years older, and then my brother is 5 years younger, and my sister, we call her the baby sister, she's 10 years younger than I am. So she's about your daughter's age. And yeah, she's still daddy's girl. So yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying. That's how it is. Yeah, when they get married, you shift into taking care of their kids. The circle goes on. Yeah, you know, I was telling my daughter the other day, I said, look, you know I love you to pieces, right? She said, yeah, Dad, I know that. And I said, when you get married, I am more than happy to, you know, take your kids out, you know, show them around, play with them, watch them for you. Only, the only thing that I'm not willing to do is change diapers again. That is one thing I'm not going to do. I've had my share. So Oregon is 45. Not exactly sure how that happened. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, no more diapers for me. Yeah, it's really, you know, it's I really fondly remember, you know, when they were kids. When I look at pictures of my children when they were little, and just the way they spoke, and you know, it's very, you know, very heartwarming to look at those pictures and you know, listen to the way they used to talk. Now they're all grown-ups, and you know, they like to act independent and that they don't need you, but you know, in the back of your head that they'll always need you. Yeah. So, if we look here at our top of descent is in about 91 nautical miles, so we're doing just fine here. Beautiful clouds today throughout the flight. And if we look here, yeah, the definitely the weather radar, you know, the bad weather has subsided, that's for sure. And ooh, look at the traffic. We have a lot of traffic there ahead of us. So again, FSLTL seems to be working really, really well now with Microsoft Flight Sim. I don't know which update it is because I no longer get the new versions. The last version I have is 1.7 stable. But I know that there were so many updates after that, but it keeps saying 1.7 even with the updates. Not really sure why. I miss so much of kids growing up with being in the forces so long. Will always regret that. I hear you. I hear you there, Dougal. Yeah. Hello from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us this evening. Yeah, see, the time when they were little is the time that's really, really precious. And you know, when that time is missed, there's really nothing that will bring it back. So I really cherish the moment with them. You know, my daughter came back from New Zealand. She's studying medicine, so she finished her foundation year now. And so she's back here for holidays to visit. And I haven't seen much of her. So I was asking her, I said, you know, when are we going to go out and, you know, like have fun, like daddy-daughter thing? And she said, soon, Dad, soon. You know, she's really busy with her friends, and, you know, she misses her friends, and I understand. And sometimes I tease her, tell her, you don't miss your dad? She says, of course I miss you, Dad. But then I'm going out with my friends today. Yeah, bless her heart. Yeah, it does, yeah. From Almaty, Kazakhstan. Welcome aboard, my friend. Oh, very glad to have you here with us this evening. Mr. Helson, welcome. Hello, Eagle. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us this evening. Yeah, I like flying during the daylight in MSFS, and I like the night approach or dusk, around dusk or dawn in X-Plane, simply because I really like the night lighting in X-Plane. I am not very fond of it in MSFS, but the cockpit lighting in the 777 during nighttime is unbelievably realistic. It looks really, really good. Yeah, the CPM mask is gone now. Anything from Tolis will be good, for sure. Hello, IFR Captain. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening. And I think the top of descent is right there, so we can see the top of descent. Can we? For some reason, I'm no longer able to pop the screens out with using Alt. I'm not really sure why, but that's okay. All right. Let me go here to the checklist here. So this is the descent checklist. We're going to begin the descent in about 55 nautical miles. And the platform altitude is, let's check it out. We're going to go to 18 left. There we go. That's the ILS. And it is 2,000 feet. So we're going to go ahead and reset. Click there. All right, we're going to go back to 2,000 feet. There we go, 2,000. We'll switch this back to auto. And the other thing we want to do is, I believe the decision height is 200. All right, let's make that 200. And there we go. All right, 200 set. Excellent. Everything else is in order. We have the terrain here, don't we? Yeah. Okay. So we should begin the descent shortly. 33 nautical miles for top of descent. We've been flying for about 29 minutes now. I think my chat window. Let me see. There we go. Let me refresh that. There we go. Okay. Now I have everything in sync. Looks like my my chat window wasn't really updating. Okay. Looks like there's some traffic here around us. Let's see if we can spot any of it. Maybe not. There's one there. We can see the contrail, and yeah, we can definitely see the contrail there. But the rest, I'm not sure I can see from where we are. Very nice aircraft. So what do you guys think? Do you think that the 777-200ER by flight factor is better, or the PMDG 777-200ER? Which one would be your pick? Maybe in our next X-Plane stream for the Archer 3, we'll use say intentions. It looks like there was a big update for say intentions, and so we'll put it to the test again in X-Plane. I think last time we used it in MSFS. So there is also a brand new scenery that came out. It's a freeware scenery for the Red Sea International Airport. Came out a few days ago. And hopefully I can showcase it in an upcoming X-Plane stream. It has some issues with the ILS that are, laminar research issues that needs fixing. So hopefully I'll be able to showcase it in an upcoming stream. So we are approaching top of descent here, and we are on our way to Memphis. We should be there shortly. And if I look down here, 14 nautical miles for top of descent. Perfect. No comparison because the sim is different. To each their own. Only want both. The Thrive need competition. The PMDG is a lot more refined when it comes to FMC and fly-by-wire modeling and behavior. The FMC is more refined, I have to agree, and it's got all the alternates, so you can set up your ETOPS, which are things that are missing in the flight factor 777. A question: why isn't the Inibuild A350 optimized while the PMDG is very smooth? Well, that's, I think, the question that we should all address to Inibuilds, because everything that they create seems to hog system resources. So I think they need to seriously reconsider their development strategy and the code that they're writing. I found that their A340 to be a little bit less demanding when it comes to system resources, but their A350, which is kind of their flagship product now, is just terrible. Really, really bad. The most stellar rep of customer satisfaction. No, they don't. I have to say that they don't. PMDG have many years more experience for sure. Absolutely. I think PMDG want the Xbox sales, so they're look, that might be true, but I will also tell you that I think we are at the TD now, but the aircraft hasn't. There we go. Finally, it's begun the descent now. So that might be true. That might be that PMDG is looking for more cash from Xbox sales, and that is a legitimate want from their side. But I think I tend to agree with Dougal on the fact that they have a lot more experience than than Inibuilds. And remember that that PMDG has been developing for the ESP platform for a very, very long time, and Microsoft Flight Sim is nothing but a continuation of that same franchise. So they are at its heart, at its core, it's actually the same platform as FSX. So of course it is next gen. It's got a lot more improvement. It's got cloud AI for streaming data, and a lot of different things. So the lookup table also has been improved so that it's not just one point. So you have now multiple points. So a lot of things have changed, but essentially it's an ESP platform, and PMDG has had an incredibly long experience with developing, optimizing, and they've pretty much stuck to their gun with Boeing. They haven't, they've done, I think, the DC-10, which was the only deviation from their Boeing fleet of aircraft. I just wonder sometimes why they haven't developed, the other variants of the Boeing, or maybe bring more classical Boeing aircraft. especially in Microsoft Flight Sim. But yeah, I think, by the way, their 747 was okay, but I don't think that it was great. It's not at the same level of fidelity as the 777, which I think is probably their most successful product. All right, we have traffic. Ooh, look at it's right there. Wow, that was close. We have a lot of traffic in the vicinity here. We can still see the contrail there from that aircraft. PMDG need to do the 777X. Yeah. Which one do you prefer? Flight Factor 777 or PMDG? I prefer the 777 by Flight Factor, just for the simple reason that, in my opinion, it has better visuals, one. Two, it's got the full experience of operating the 777. So, you know, you get to contact the crew, and, you know, you have it here, so you can actually go and call the, you can call the cabin crew here if you go to, for example, if you click here on cabin, you know, you can, or this one here, and then you can go and select those here. I'm not sure where is it. It's somewhere here. I think you need to be on the ground, but it doesn't really do anything as opposed to the, you know, PMDG, as opposed to the Flight Factor aircraft. So I think it gives you a lot more in appreciation of how the aircraft is actually operated in real life. It's more in depth when it comes to the actual simulation of systems aboard the aircraft and the actual operation of the ground handling and the pushback truck, all of that stuff. It has a lot of customization on the fly of the different aircraft configurations, so different classes, different cargo holds, and different setup for your classes, business, economy, first class, and so on and so forth. So I think it has a lot more features in that respect. What I do like more about the PMDG, on the other hand, is how well they've developed the flight management computer. It is an exact replica of the actual aircraft in real life, and it's got all the features that you expect to find, including, you know, the holds, including ETOP programming, alternates. Everything is operational in the FMC, which I think is much better implemented in PMDG. So as you can see, both aircraft have their, you know, pros and cons. But as a general preference, I get a, you know, the quote unquote, I get more kick out of flying the 777 by Flight Factor. Are you using Boris Audio Pack now? No. A very good evening to you, Adam. Welcome, my friend. How do you get the other traffic? So Mohan, I'm using FSLTL, and if you have FSLTL, it will inject the traffic, and then you need, of course, the setting of your transponder to be TARA, and then you can click here on traffic. So this one here with traffic, you can see it here. If I click this again, then it removes it. So now I can see the traffic. There's traffic behind us there, it looks like, and there's one right there. So that's how you get the traffic to display here on the aircraft, and I'm using FSLTL for the non-interactive AI traffic within this sim. There is our 20 and 10 nautical mile rings coming up. We are at 26,000 feet. Let's very quickly take a look at the weather conditions at Memphis. And we can see at Memphis we have 13 knot wind, 190 degrees. We have scattered clouds at 3,500. Temperature is 28, bit warm. Altimeter is 2,987. And that is it. Okay, perfect. So 2,987. And we now continue the descent. Again, very nice wing view there. as we approach Memphis. The Bose sound pack is total game changer for this aircraft. So many great and subtle sounds. Well, Dougal, now you guys got me really intrigued, so I will go ahead and purchase it. Is it through the marketplace, or do you purchase it separately, Dougal? Do you know? FSLTL, that is correct, yes. And just 15 pounds. Oh, really? Orbex, gotcha. Orbex, okay. Yeah, I have my account with Orbex. You know, incidentally, I was looking over. I haven't logged into my Orbex account for quite some time. So the other day, I wanted to see if there was an update for one of my add-ons. So I went to Orbex, logged in, and I was just going through the hundreds of add-ons that I've purchased from Orbex. I have so many products from Orbex. Those engines are just beautiful. Here's a nice view there as we approach Memphis. Okay, let's just make sure that we are not yet at the transition altitude. Okay, let me go to the, we've already begun the descent, so recall checked. Notes are checked. Auto brake, we'll set it to 2. Landing data, VRF verified, approach briefing is complete, and the descent checklist is now complete. The altimeters is in a little bit, and we continue the descent now. We're almost there. After installing sound pack, sit on the ground and start those big GE engines. Will blow you away. Ooh. Now I can't wait for the stream to finish so I can go and buy it. You guys are teasing me. The sound pack is awesome for the GE90. Gotcha. Like, that's another thing. I haven't really been following much of the news lately. I know a couple of sites that I frequently go to. I haven't been doing that either. I've really been away, so to speak. No, unfortunately, FSLTL is not available for X-Plane 12, but for X-Plane 12 you have Traffic Global by JustFlight, which works beautifully for X-Plane 12. FSLTL, unfortunately, is only for Microsoft Flight Sim. Right, 21,000, looking good. Let's take a quick look at the outside here. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about earlier. So this actually, I know it's data that is streamed live, but it looks anything but realistic. Doesn't look realistic to me. It's not photoreal. That's the word. Doesn't look photoreal. Looks still a bit cartoonish. What a majestic looking aircraft. Just beautiful. Kuwait Airways has a very large fleet of 777s. And when I normally go to, when I have a flight in the Kuwait Airways terminal, I just really just sit in awe and look at those beautiful machines, you know, just standing there on the tarmac. And I just, you know, I'll just have like 3 or 4 minutes of just looking at those aircraft. They are huge, and those engines on the 777 is just wow. All right. We're going to go set the, we have it here, and 2986 is now set. And that is our transition altitude, 18,000 feet. We're looking good. Speed is good. And everything else is, all right. Click there, and we'll put that in meters as well. Okay, perfect. By the way, this aircraft's got a really nice cabin as well. So let me just see if I can... There we go. Yeah, cabin is really nice. So you have your economy class here. And more economy. I think American Airlines only have business. So that's, again, economy. And this is the business class. I think, yeah, this is definitely business class. And I'm not sure if they actually have first class. But come here and, yeah, this is definitely still business class. It's a nice cabin. I've seen better. Any build really nice cabins. But, yeah, but overall, it's a really nice looking aircraft. I think this is just there for visuals. But, yeah, it's got a really nice cabin. Non-interactive, but quite nice. We are going to record our approach today so that we can take a look at the replay afterwards. Let's see here. But it seems, if I'm not mistaken, PMDG are promising to release their own updated sounds as well. Oh, really? That's cool. Can you put that in the chat, Q8 pilot? Sorry, put what? I'm sorry, I missed that. You mean Traffic Global? Let me see if I can... Here, just 1 second. Traffic Global. Explain 12. There we go. All right. It's not allowing me to... Why is it not allowing me to copy it? Let's see here. Alright, we can copy here. Perfect. And now I can put it for you here. Paste that. No, didn't pick that up. Why not? I don't know. Let me try this again. Alright, let me see here. Copy that. And let's see if I can paste it here. For some reason it's not pasting. So I'm not sure why. But what I'll do is I will try to have it for you in the comment section after the stream. I'll put it for you there. It's just not allowing me to paste it for some reason. I'm not sure why. Let's see if that works. Yeah, it's just not happening. All right, let me see if I can do it this way. Paste. Nope. Not working. I'll do it for you. I'll put it for you in the comment section afterwards. Rand, he wants the link to Traffic Global for X-Plane 12 by Just Flight. Right, so we're getting down to 210. Speed is good. And that means that we're going to have to go to flaps 5. Actually, flaps 1. So let's go ahead and go to flaps 1. Right, flaps 1. We're looking good. Here is our turn. We're going to set this to 20 nautical miles. And that's the turn here towards Memphis. We're almost there now, folks. It's been a really fun flight. Not many traffic injection options for X-Plane. It's either Traffic Global or World Traffic 3 or Live Traffic. There is something called Live Traffic. Now, it requires a subscription. So livetraffic.net, there is a plugin. The plugin is actually free, but Live Traffic will cost money. So there's another option there for X-Plane. 3 options. This is a fun approach on VATSIM when it's very busy. I can imagine that, yeah. Okay, we're looking good. Here, 12,000. Now it's starting to look nicer. You can see the ground there looking really, really nice. Wow. You can see clearly the buildings there as we approach Memphis. This is a really nice site right there. Let's see if we can, yeah, we can get it there as well. Very, very nice. Right, we're coming up to 10,000 feet now. Our final approach speed is 146. Actually, we need to change that to 145. So let me do that. 145. There we go. 145. And we are approaching 10,000 feet. Landing lights coming on. Okay, and the fasten seatbelt sign is now on. And we are looking good. Memphis FedEx #1 hub. Busiest airport in the world in 22. Oh, between 22 and 4 daily. Ah, gotcha. I'm on the fence between the PMDG 777 and the FF, what is your recommendation? Well, Oscar, you know what my answer is going to be. Take the flight factor 777 for sure. All right, here is the turn now. Okay. Wow, look at that, guys. Very, very nice indeed. All right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to reset the traffic injection so that it does not affect our... We don't see aircraft on the runway when we arrive into Memphis. I think we're a bit too high. So let me extend the speed brakes a little bit here. Altimeters are set. And then we have the landing checklist. Okay. All right, very good. Cabin is ready. And we're going to go to flaps 5. And activate the approach. All right. We are just a little bit high, but I think we'll be able to fix that. And we're going to also come here and click on FCR, and we're going to record. So we're going to begin recording from here. We'll put that there and just put it in the top corner. Right, and here is the turn. Right, we're going to go ahead and lower the landing gear. That is going to create more drag and help us slow down a little faster. There we go. Perfect. Right, arm the speed brake. And we're going to go to flaps 15, flaps 20. We're going to take this down to 145. Excellent. And we are now looking good. We have the runway in sight. That is really a beautiful approach into Memphis. Flaps 25. And that will help us reduce the speed a bit quicker. Wow, that is just really a beautiful approach into Memphis. Gotta love those flaps. Okay.
25.
Almost there. Okay, and flaps 30. We're looking good. We have the runway in sight, and we are clear to land. Left is our arrival runway. Just look at those flaps, guys. Wow. Very beautiful sight as we arrive into Memphis. into Memphis. I do have a subwoofer, yes. I'll be sure to remember that. We'll get a chance to do a replay later, but I just can't resist. Look at those flaps, guys. Beautiful. Right, land 3. What did we have? I heard something retracting. Now we're good. Landing checklist is complete. We didn't get the call out.
1,000.
We got it earlier afterwards. Okay, so there we go. And we're going to click here to disarm the auto throttle. Flight director's off. And my aircraft. Let me reset my view here real quick. Man, those sounds are really bad, aren't they?
300. 400. 300.
Sink rate. Sink rate.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
And reverse. $80 knots. Ladies and gents, welcome to Memphis International Airport. Yeah, we've made it. All right, let's take a quick look here at our landing. And then we will, let's say, stop that. And then we're going to click play. There we go.
2,500.
There we go. I think this is a good, there we go. Here, look at that, guys. Wow. I think we need to adjust that. There we go. Very, very nice approach into Memphis. Gotta love those landing gears. So nice. Thanks, Rand and Mr. Valero. Appreciate it. Glad you guys liked the landing. Maybe we can... There we go. That's when we disconnected the autopilot. Kind of pitched down. There we go. Definitely there's some crosswind there. Not much, just a little bit. There. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty cool. There's your reversers. Do it one more time. But this time we'll do it from here. There we go. And let's do a wing view. Maybe we'll go for the second one. There we go. Yeah, I forgot to retract the speed brakes again for the landing. The wing flex is really, really nice on the PMDG 777. Very smooth. A bit of a wonky approach, but the touchdown was alright. The sounds are really bad. Very nice. Look at those flaps. Wow. Okay. So we're going to come here and we're going to say take plane control. And I have control. Oof. What is that guy doing? And we'll just head over to the terminal there. All right, let's start retracting the flaps. First, we are going to come here. All right, there we go. Flaps are retracting. Alright, next is the shutdown checklist. We can kill the landing light off, runway turn off lights, strobes, taxi lights on. And there is the main terminal at Memphis. Again, I'm using all default scenery today. Lovely aircraft. All right, we're going to come up here and turn on the APU. It's a good thing that we alright, we can take this to off. It's a good thing that we reset the traffic so that we don't get anything on the runway while we arrive. Because normally, if you leave FSLTL without resetting it, you'll end up finding aircraft on the runway. So I'm glad that I remembered. It took us about an hour altogether. We can come here. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. There. Right, let's slow it down. I think those gates are small, but that's okay. It was really a fun flight. Right, looks like the APU is now available. And we're going to make the turn here. There we go. Excellent. All right. And parking brake set. The APU is already running. So APU gen is on and APU running. Perfect. So we can now turn off the engines. We're going to turn off the taxi light. No, taxi light off. And there we go. The sounds really need improvement. I do like the sounds of the engines during takeoff and engine start, but other than that, I think they are seriously lacking. Okay, we have that set. Let's see here. Parking brake is set. All right, we can now turn off the beacon light, and we can also get GSX to... Let's see what GSX says. GSX says that this is not a suitable parking. Let's see. Too small, too small, too small. All of the positions there are too small. There's this one here, parking 61. We'll just say, just wrap me there, because otherwise it just won't work. So, yeah, we cheated a little bit. So, there we go. We'll go now to TSX. And now we'll say deboard. Request deboarding. American Airlines. And there we go. Perfect. Let's go ahead and turn off the hydraulics. And fuel panel is off. Hydraulics off. And the weather radar is off. Let's see here. Just systems are shutting down. Where's the weather radar? Is it this one here? The weather radar. I'm not sure which button turns off the weather radar. Well, seriously, KMM handles virtually any airline you can throw at it. It's a major U.S. airport for sure. All right, folks. Well, we are now ready here. We have GSX deboarding the aircraft, as you can see. And the passenger bus will be arriving soon to deboard the passengers and take them to the gate. I hope that you guys enjoyed this flight. I definitely enjoyed streaming it for you. And I will see you guys very soon, possibly on Tuesday, for our Piper Archer 3 first look from Just Flight on Tuesday, hopefully. But until then, ladies and gents, please take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.